Okay, actually, we can take off from business, little thing from last, you remember last meeting, we had said, oh gee, okay, we're gonna make a donation to the Historical Society in the amount of 20% of profit on the beer garden.
Yes.
Remember that? Okay, here's the check.
Easy peasy.
Oh.
I'll meet you over at the Sopa Hall.
So that finishes up that one. You weren't here when we
I
discussed-
wasn't able to attend
Okay,
last time. We
here is
had
the
some
financial
issues.
report on
Thank you.
Oktoberfest. And you have your, everybody shall still have their copy, right?
Do I need
Is
it
this
with
for
me
me to
right
keep
now?
or just
No,
for my review?
you don't need it. Huh?
Is this for me to keep?
Yes.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah.
It's in my truck. I read it every day.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
That, I was gonna say, is that a huge phone? This is one of my vendors. I
You're
just
out of
thought it
luck.
was cute for people to possibly look at it.
I feel
I
like
don't
I
need
had
that
somebody
stuff,
similar
but-
to that last year.
There he is.
But I think it's great.
John!
This makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
What?
There's,
Said it's everything jalapeno and there's only one jalapeno item on the menu. I said the same thing.
How are you?
which maybe that's what they're after.
Okay, hey, you
Which
made
is
it.
cool.
Maybe there's
To know
jalapeno
what
in
you
other
look like.
things.
I know, you
I
got-
don't know.
I actually
but it did
forgot what
bother
you
me
were
that the
thinking.
only
That
thing
beautiful
was the
face
Then I look at
jalapeno.
him and say, oh, that's right,
bet that-
John's the good looking one.
Don't you start between these two boys.
Missed you guys.
Hey, see that green thing? Right in front of you, that green thing. That's green and red. Gabriel made you that. It's a sleeping bag. And that little smiley face is you're awake. If you take him out and turn him over, you're sleeping. Gabriel made you
Tony's not
that.
gonna fit.
Aww,
awesome.
sweet.
Gabriel
No, it's
made
not.
that
You
at
can't even
story
fit in there,
time.
nor will it keep you warm.
I can put my toe in there. Okay.
Ooh, we have,
So-
hey, we gotta see pictures of the baby
Okay.
before you leave. I haven't seen any pictures.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you. We're going to, we have 100% participation here, so we're gonna start even before 7.
Okay.
Okay. So, we're started.
Well, yeah,
Um,
she's on tape. She's got us.
Rotate.
She likes us.
Okay, minutes. You sent out the
Okay,
minutes.
can I please have a motion to accept the October 3rd minutes I sent out?
So
I
moved.
move we accept G.
Not yet.
So
Okay.
moved.
Okay,
That's not
can I
business we're talking
have
about.
a motion to accept the
Motion to
discussion?
accept minutes.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, she did
We're on
that.
it.
We're on it.
Second. Did you second?
We did, dear.
Okay. All in favor?
Breathe.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, it's fun to be
Dear,
back.
please, breathe. Okay, next listing, I have 3. You give me the look of I should just be quiet, but you know, this is my turn. All right, I had sent everyone a discussion listing. Can I have a motion to accept those?
So moved.
We need a second.
You're gonna be a pain in the patootie,
I
Evan.
didn't read it.
Okay,
Yeah.
anyone did read it?
Yes.
Okay.
I did read them.
All in favor?
Okay,
Aye.
now motion to accept the April 12th minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, I will let you go from there and then I will have my turn. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Done this.
Okay. We will need someone to please, I cannot do this, someone needs to go to Grill on Main and ask if we can have our toy man in the corner he always has. And where the driveway goes in, it has a little inlet, that's where he parks his truck. We need someone to please do that.
Okay.
Oh, we're pointing at Eric.
I think he's looking at you.
All right, before we do that, okay?
I wasn't
We have
even
to mention
listening, I
that
was
we
reading.
had a resignation, right? That's why we're asking that, because the person that did that resigned, okay?
I move letter G.
Okay. So, because we had a resignation of Tim, Tim wasn't, he lived out of town, he wasn't really a voting member of the committee, but we did rely on him for a lot of things. So, one of his functions was, you know, being the liaison to Grill on Main, so we need somebody to do that. Eric, you signed up to do that, did you?
What did I sign up to do? I wasn't listening again. I was reading. I'll listen now and I'll read later.
I move
Okay.
that Eric does it.
I second it.
Can you, Eric, can you please go to the Grill on Main and talk to the owners and ask if we,
voting. Been made and seconded.
I resign, I quit.
Ask for a gift certificate?
No.
You wouldn't be so frustrated
No.
if you were paying
No,
attention.
I just said that. I was
All right,
reading.
all
I
right,
was
all right.
reading. I wasn't listening.
Okay, the Grill on Main, they have
Having a good time over there in that corner?
Tim, you remember Tim?
Back on this
Okay,
conversation.
he's over here, invisible, by the way.
Mhm.
he used to be our liaison to them. He had a way of speaking to them so that they were, so that he used to go in and ask if it was okay if we could have, the toy guy set up his thing in the driveway or whatever. He was a diplomat, is the way to say it.
Yep.
Okay? So he had a way of communicating with them. They don't really like me, and they're not really too fond of Mary, okay? For Oktoberfest past, so that's why we had Tim do that. okay?
I go there
So, there you
pretty
go.
frequently. I know them all there, and I
Okay.
don't think it will be a problem as long as I don't mention your name.
Our names.
That's exactly correct.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
We're
so
on the
now
same
you
page.
understand.
Yes.
All right, okay,
Those who shall.
how's that?
I believe there was a
So-
motion and a seconded,
All right,
On what?
that he had to go.
We should probably go right
Oh.
now. Let me go see if there's anybody there.
Check the bar.
okay.
On Monday. Well played.
Am I allowed to continue, or am I going
Go ahead.
Okay, at this moment, we have 16 vendors. I'm done.
All right. Okay. Now, so that we can finish up the business from the only thing that we have left for last year's business is to award the scholarship. We should do that now, and then we can discuss the new Oktoberfest.
Oh,
Okay.
let's make
Oh,
a
yeah,
transition.
we'll do that
piece.
after we do the scholarship, yes. All
Because,
right.
yeah, this will probably end up in a
Because-
lot of discussion.
Because that'll talk in,
so.
we're gonna make changes according to that into
Transition.
the next one, yeah, so
Let's
that's the
segue,
transition.
segue.
All right, scholarship. Everybody review your scholarship package?
Yep.
Okay, please don't refer to their name, call them by the letter I put on there. We do that because this is being filmed and we do not want them to get advance notice, okay?
Or upset.
Or upset, yeah. All right, so,
G money.
G? I vote G,
That was my number one.
but did you,
That was my number one as well.
G was yours?
She was mine.
John is correct, you're correct, you're correct.
She was my number one, and
Also
Steve was
correct.
my second, but.
Should we talk about D? Do you want to talk about
Oh, D was your
No.
number one?
No,
Oh,
G
G.
was my
Okay.
number one, but,
D? Didn't make my top.
it was between D and G.
How about you?
Mrs. Vogt?
I would go with G.
That's like unanimous.
It's not only like, see how much
It
time,
actually
yeah, it
is.
actually is unanimous. You see how much time we could have saved if you just had accepted my motion in the beginning of the meeting.
So next year, okay, you come in and make a motion to have the secretary cast one ballot.
There you go. Well, that
How's that?
was easy peasy. Squishy squeezy.
And again, so I would like to say for the record, there are some other very, very good
There were.
candidates. in this
Candidates,
room.
absolutely, yep.
So it's not like anyone is, got short shrift on
Completely
this.
excluded, but.
Now, another thing that happened
G
this
was
time,
exceptional.
okay, interestingly enough, usually in the past, we usually get quite a few applications that are incomplete,
Yep,
okay? You don't have any of the ones that were incomplete,
that's what I figured.
but we didn't have many of them.
Really
I
good.
think it
only
was
had-
only one.
We actually had two that were
Oh, that's
incomplete,
because you collect.
but that was it.
Okay.
So you saw all of the other applications that we got.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and
Usually they're-
I think this was a very unique candidate, especially for the Oktoberfest scholarship. So,
That was my thoughts of the years of service to Oktoberfest, which is pretty much in my sight.
don't give it away.
Everyone else didn't? Did they do Oktoberfest? We're not
Yes.
saying they did or they
Yeah,
didn't?
no,
Yeah, see?
no, there were others that
See?
did Oktoberfest.
So, there you go.
I have
Okay.
maybe a suggestion for revision for the essay.
Okay,
Um,
it's coming from an ex-English teacher, right?
I always
You don't
hesitate
still
on my
teach English,
minutes
do you?
because
Oh,
I
you do.
don't.
I thought you had an administrative job.
well, head of the department.
Okay.
I wonder if we should revise the question towards something like, show us or tell us how you've positively impacted your community.
I like that.
I like that.
Same idea, but as I was reading over the essays, I was wondering where our question could help guide the responses. Kind of away from like, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, to here's how I've impacted my community.
Right, yep.
Okay, I like it.
How have you positively influenced the community? Is that how you wanted it?
If you want, I can draft.
Yes.
I'll draft
Oh,
something up
yeah.
and send it over.
You're so much better than I am.
That works. Okay, now it's you, actually, so put that away for a minute. And then,
We'll keep that.
you're gonna tell us the results of the survey.
We should spend either a few minutes now or at some point reading over the responses, which I think are probably the richest piece of the survey, just people's comments.
I'm gonna go with I wouldn't change a thing. All right, we're done here.
Saving us a lot of time, Keith.
Yeah,
Appreciate
I'm
that.
trying.
Wiener dog races got tons of love,
Yep.
They got what?
lots of love.
Lots of love?
So
Oh, wow.
interestingly, the first question around the quality, rating the quality of the vendors, we got lots of 4s and 5s, like a vast majority of 4s and 5s. But throughout some of the comments, there are some pieces around, like would love to see different vendors, better vendors, things like that. Like the first one, better quality vendors, enough jewelry and low quality items, local artists.
So on that note, and Mary, you can stab me with the pen if I'm overstepping my bounds into your area, but I reached out to someone from Start on the Street.
What is that?
It's a like an art festival
Okay.
in Worcester. If we wanted to try to attract like some
Mm-hmm.
of the some more varied artists into this and so I just basically said, I said, how do you go about attracting these people? And the answer was pretty much like we tell them about it.
What the heck?
So if that's an area that we're interested in expanding to, it probably wouldn't take much to reach out to them and kind of put the word out that
Okay.
that we exist.
Because I can only, or we can only put the word out, how we do it, and then can only get the vendors that apply.
Right.
So reaching out to other type of vendors, like we mentioned antique dealers, getting them in here, which would be great. So, and more artists would be great as well. I've always wanted to enlarge besides the same old all the time, and some do very well there. You want to change it. You don't want the same old sometimes.
Yeah. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe now is the time to
Okay.
maybe put out some press releases in some of the local papers. Like, we are specifically, we are now accepting applications for entertainment and art vendors. Is that how you would say it, or
This one?
arts and
Sure.
craft
That one?
vendors?
Arts and craft vendors, you'll get what we have now, or you'll get sort of like craft shows.
Yeah.
Get those people.
All right. Well,
Which
John's
we
the
have
English
some of
teacher. He
those,
can
so-
draft something up.
What's that?
Is there a second?
Excellent. I think it's a great idea to get more people involved. If you could help draw up a press release advertising that we're looking for entertainment, but also vendors of, however you want to word
Art?
it, that of, not just art, but antique dealers and something else, and
That is a little bit out of my wheelhouse. If someone gave me a working draft, like even just a rough, I could probably go with that.
I think you should put some thought into it and just kind of think about like what.
Draft something up, and
What
then
would-
I
bounce
have
it off
never
to me.
written a press release.
You're an
for-
English teacher.
I understand.
he never criticizes my minutes.
I know, but there's a place to start, okay? So you just draft something up, tell them all these things that we're gonna have, and then throw it at me, and I'll say, no, yes, no, yes, I like that, stuff like that.
But also
Can
if
you-
we put on there how to get the vendor form, you can get it off the website or whatever, but we have to make sure it's
I'll work
updated.
with you.
Send me something.
Okay,
Give
I'll
me-
work with
Just
you.
give me
Okay.
something to work with, and
Okay.
and I'll massage it.
Okay.
Have we, I don't know what the real history is of how we've done recruitment efforts in the past, but have we considered actually attending other
I
like
have.
art fair type things and approaching vendors at
Yep.
those events?
Yeah.
A lot of times I'll
Done
have
it.
vendor forms with me, or
Yeah.
I'll take their business cards and
Mhm.
I will either email or mail them vendor forms. Some come, some do not.
Mhm.
We've done it, we've gone to, I went to the Woodstock Fair, and we hunt them up over there, and,
Oh,
Yeah.
I did.
yeah.
Yep,
Oh,
I've done,
okay.
Shepherd Hill, which is
This-
a craft show.
This one's great. Beer garden was great. Petting zoo could have used some signage to attract more people, maybe expand the car show. The next comment. Petting zoo would be a good touch.
More beer vendors in the larger beer garden.
I just thought it was funny because it's like, this person's like, hey, you should have some signs for the petting zoo. This person's
Right.
like, you should have a petting zoo, which
Right.
I think confirms what the person above said was, we need some better signage for a petting
Right.
zoo.
There's also a pie eating contest, which we did
Yeah.
5 or 6 years ago. That was
Right.
a
the,
failure.
the radar gun, on the other hand, I think is a super good idea.
I got,
Where-
there's
where
one
was
here
that?
that says, I
You're
would
so ahead of
love
me.
to see not vendors, I think that is a
Yeah,
mistake, right?
new vendors
Yeah,
is
new
what they're
vendors, yeah.
going for,
Yep.
but
New or more or something, yeah.
And
So-
this one was true too. My teens wish there was something more for them to do than just
We
walk
had,
around.
I
his,
have been
his,
trying for
Young
I'm
kids,
years.
plenty,
there's like
plenty
3
for old
things that
people.
say that they want chairs in front of the stage. There were 4
Yeah.
racks of chairs that weren't even used.
We
and they
never
were
even
over
put
there.
them out.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
have to put them out.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
So they were there.
They were there. We just did
they
not
were
book
there,
them.
but yeah, and in the past, I mean,
Yeah.
like the only time they would get used is
Yeah.
for the
I had got
Stands.
extra ones for the beer garden, and we set those up.
yeah.
Okay, but there were still racks of chairs over to the side that were never
Yeah,
used.
and see, and that's kind of so. I think one of the issues is like it just looks really weird when nobody, because it almost adds like a barrier where it says like don't come closer than this to the stage because no one's going to stand in front of the chairs.
Yeah.
And then you have bands playing to people who aren't sitting in the chairs. You know what I mean? So you have kind of like these empty.
So you had them, but you didn't set them up.
Correct.
Could you set up chairs, again, not my area of expertise, but like if the stage is here, set up chairs like along the side, so at least there's
Yeah,
a place
I think that's a
to
good
sit?
idea. It is, almost like, say, a town meeting, right, where you have like some ADA chairs, like kind of like off to the wings.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So then this is all still open, but then you have some chairs in the wings,
Yeah.
okay.
so
Instead
people
of
can still
finding a
fit
place
in.
to sit during the whole day. People
Is
are tired,
challenging.
and finding a place to sit
Yep.
and just plop your butt
One
down
said
is,
to be able to sit
Yeah.
down and have something to eat.
yeah.
Is there speaking
Crafty
of that,
things for children to do. They had
So,
hats.
Hold on,
Well,
could-
hold on,
could we back
back
up a
to-
second.
pink
Yep.
rocks.
So is there any rhyme or reason, Mary, to where the food vendors go?
Yes.
That's where all the electric plug-ins are.
Are they scattered out around the event, or are they
Nope.
kind of all centralized?
Well, like
Food
the
road.
jellies, jams that is a vendor is mixed in, but all the
Hot
food
food.
is in one area. We have a food court.
There's a couple reasons for that, okay? One, there's electric there. A lot of them use electric. Most of them use electric.
Mhm.
And number 2, okay, if they're doing something that has smoke, like the fire department or whatever, you get a quilt vendor that doesn't want that next to them.
Sure.
Okay, so, so we've been putting it like the idea of a food court, where you have pretty much the food
Yeah.
in the same spot.
So a couple thoughts, and they're kind of all connected. So around the chairs in front of the stage, if you had chairs and tables near music and near food, I think people would naturally grab some food,
Mm.
go plop themselves down at a table, and while they were there, hang out, listen to music.
Mhm.
That's one thought. Second thought, and maybe it's connected. Stage B is getting killed with lack of activity
Which one is stage B?
by the
By the
post
goodness
office.
store?
Thanks, goodness store.
Thank you. Sorry.
So
You gotta put something on there that's gonna draw people then.
that's the thing, though, is that none of the, even our best even our best bands, like the Britwits or, you know, those caliber people aren't going to sit down and hang out for 45 minutes or an hour to watch them. They're not really pulling people. It's ambiance. It's part of the experience.
Yeah,
Like
they'll
hanging
pull
out
some, but they're not gonna pull like
No, that's not,
1,000
no.
people.
And
See where they're talking
so
about
we're-
middle school classes?
so stage B isn't pulling people down that way.
What do you
And
mean?
what's happening is we're not on a mediocre year. We're not getting vendors all the way down to us, and particularly now with how popular
Yeah.
Depot Street is.
Trying for years.
Everything is congregating around that corner, congregating around the Jinx store corner, and that's where like a bulk of the people are hanging out, kind of filtering down the street, but then getting as far as gas station-ish car show and then turn around. So I'm hearing more and more from the bands that we're putting on stage B that there's not really much impetus to come and play. You know, it's not a ton of money. It's sounds okay, and weather is an issue, and there's no crowd. They're playing to an empty street. So I don't know the solution.
I think combining 2 and 3, get rid of 2 altogether and move 2 up to 3 and make that a we cannot do that, and we can just move on to something else and
But why not?
Discuss
Why are we
something
saying
else.
no?
Yeah.
He's
Just
just
curious.
so funny. He's
Yeah,
like, "I know
because
that."
if
Word.
you do that, okay,
Gotcha, baby.
then what we've just done, we just lost 20 years of Oktoberfest. And by that I mean, when we started this, everything was on the lawn, all of it, okay? If you do that, then all of the vendors that are down that street now, next to the, Oktoberfest is no longer there. You pulled it right up to these corners, and that's where it's gonna be forever now.
But I
That's
don't know
not
that
the
that's
thing. We wanted
necessarily
to
what
stretch
Eric
it out,
was saying
Okay,
was,
we have to come up with a solution to the stage B problem, so that we can involve that part of Oktoberfest also.
I'm saying
Okay.
take stage 2 and move it to where 3 is, and use stage 2. Everybody that is using stage 2 in front of the goodness store, move the whole thing up in front of the lodge up there, because we're getting more up there. It's a dead end, and like I said, I can get,
So what do you, but you're
Finnegan's,
saying you're saying what we can't do. We can't, you don't wanna take Oktoberfest away from stage 2 area, right? You don't wanna do that. You wanna keep the whole street.
What Tony's saying is that basically what we've done, because we used to always have a dead hole up at the
Sonic.
At
yeah,
the Masonic.
Lodge,
What
right?
you,
Like,
all
we-
you've
we-
done this time is you've taken what used to happen at stage B and you moved it up to the Masonic Lodge.
Yeah, So now, rather than having a dead hole over here, now you have a dead hole over here, and the dead hole over here is a much bigger dead hole than up here.
okay,
So you've kind of condensed Oktoberfest to this rather than to this.
okay, I got you. The other thing I was talking about was, my buddy's, Dr. Finnegan's sideshow circus, which is breathing fire, breaking cinder blocks on nails, sword swallowing, like people walking around on stilts. That is gonna gain some attention, but it's only for that time slot that they're there. So what else can we do to add something down there?
You have to have
This-
something else right behind that all day. You have to, if you're gonna do that, you have to do that kind of stuff all day. So that what you really wanna do is you wanna take half the crowd from stage A away. That's what you wanna do.
Right,
Yeah.
but if we only have that one act and the rest is high school bands and whatever is going on down at stage B, it's gonna fall, so if there's a big draw for that
You have to.
circus thing, it may just fall, people walk away and don't come back for the bands that are there, which is a problem we have
You know
now.
what, Tony kind of made a point, I think at the last meeting, that was really smart, and I'm sure he didn't mean to, which was,
That was backhanded.
if we,
No, that's just backhanded.
we,
That wasn't a compliment.
I think the last time he did that to me, I threw something at him. No.
get something less expensive.
From John's phone.
What, maybe, so a bunch of years ago, there was a point where all everything aligned, right? We had like the perfect weather, and we just had thousands of people like
Oh,
throughout
yeah.
the whole day, and it was like shoulder to shoulder the whole time. And when you have that,
How many years ago was that?
5 maybe.
We didn't have
Probably
that
more
stuff.
than that.
We didn't have the stuff up Depot Street back then.
No, you didn't.
No. But let me finish. So I'm gonna let you finish. So what we were able to do at that point was have entertainment going all the time, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
What we haven't been doing is saying, okay, you know what, Britwits are a draw, right? Like everybody wants to hear the Britwits. So the Britwits are going to be, at stage A from 11 to 11:30. And then people are going to want to see the Sword Swallower, at noon, okay, over here. And then the dog races are at 1 o'clock up here. So that we're creating a reason for people
Yeah.
to move.
You want them to move from one side of the street
Right.
pretty much regularly all day, if you can. So if you timed entertainment or activities,
Yeah.
some sort, okay, that would make that happen. Like, oh wow, I want to see that, but that's not until this over here, okay?
So I have an idea. Give stage B a food court down at that end of the street.
Yeah, I'm totally on board with that.
That and chairs and tables.
The only thing with the food court that I see there, at least the one that's up by stage A, is it's a distance away. But I'm not shutting it down, I'm just asking, ordering with music playing is a tough thing to do with the ear.
So then maybe
cheese.
Yeah, so maybe that's
No,
where but maybe that's where the Kettle Corn and Wild Bill's is.
Well,
You know,
that's where Wild Bills could go there because they're gonna draw no matter where they are.
Absolutely.
We may have to make that as I'm looking at you,
Or
Make what?
a Wild Bill
I'm
setup.
still negotiating with them.
1 year.
Because we can't get, we had a company come once, they
They were
did
here 1 year.
fantastic,
Yeah.
we've never gotten
They had
anything
it-
Talking
like
about it ever
that.
since.
And I'm
No,
to the
but they-
point
they-
of, if we don't
they-
hear real
They
soon, we
did
can make
well,
our
and
own.
they were
We
interested
had
in
a
coming
truck that
back.
they had with
Still,
the
that's
doors
what I
on
get
it,
from
like the
them.
saloon and
But
stuff?
they're
Mild
short,
Bills, baby.
they're short a rig.
Tony's, every time we go to Home Depot, he's looking at the barrels, trying to
That's
turn
what
it
they're,
into
is what they're telling
a
me. They're
nozzle.
short a rig.
Oh,
They
okay.
would have,
with
they would
soda,
send one if they had
with
one of
Dr.
those.
Soda.
Oh, that's easy.
Okay?
So
That
to
part
your
I
point, well taken. I think if we put a band on like the Brian James Quartet, or even we could put a mellower band on from 11 to 1.
I had
Mellow band.
requests
For food time, you're
Like
saying?
food
for
time.
the point and swing band. Again,
Okay.
We have older people that like that
because
stuff.
we have older people
Yeah.
in town, okay, that liked that when they saw it. What happens is, that complaint from that era is that you're only got groups for one age group.
What?
That's what they,
What?
that's what they said.
What?
One age group.
Well,
What age group?
can you
We
get,
literally have had people playing all the way from high schoolers.
I'm not saying that
To-
they were right. I'm just saying that was the perception. Okay?
Also, I think
Now,
it's,
that's just like when you read here, when they said that we had no chairs. Well, we did have chairs, okay? They just didn't see them, or they could have went and grabbed one and put one down to sit down, but they didn't see them. Maybe we gotta get better at putting the chairs out so that people can see them.
Yeah,
Okay.
or we need
That's
to.
also the point, though.
Yep.
okay, Is, also, even when we do the program, usually the program's out a week before the Octoberfest. We gotta get better at that, okay? Mostly because, getting materials to put in, or the schedule and stuff doesn't really conducive to putting it out a month or two ahead of time. Also, though, a lot of times the write-ups for the bands are ones that I used last year and the year before and the year before that. They should change if they're gonna play different stuff.
well, it speaks to
You
a
know?
bigger point about freshening up the band's.
Yeah, which I agree with.
Yeah.
I didn't get that a lot in here. I mean, like a lot of it was like, best entertainment ever, the bands were great, blah blah, so you know, while I agree that, you know, we need to keep it fresh. And again, I feel like there, you know, we do have like some rotation of, you know, similar acts that come in every year, or every couple of years, and then we kind of fill in all the other stuff. So, you know, I mean, that's kind of to me how we've kept it.
The ones that
fresh.
draw the best attention are the ones that are totally fresh and new, that they didn't see last year, and they see the ones before that. Like the
Yeah.
beer garden, with the band that played in there, everybody loved them, because it was so off the wall, and we never did it before.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how do I not book them again?
Because they've seen them. That's why. I would find somebody similar, okay?
Yeah.
But to do the same one over and over and over again is a bad thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't say over and
Okay.
over for the next 10 years, but I'd say 2 years in a row since,
I don't
Last year
think
was the
so. I
first-
think 2 years in a row is too much, to be honest with you. But
I don't know
but-
if I feel like it might be a draw though if somebody enjoyed them
That's-
last year.
that's
I
kinda
feel
the
like
thing.
it's kind
I
of a
think-
draw.
I've gone to see
like, oh, I remember
multiple
seeing them. They were
bands
great. Come on,
multiple
you guys, you
times.
need to go catch
Yeah.
them.
because I enjoy
I don't
them, you
know.
know? I think,
yeah, but
think
but
they
did they
went
like
off.
the band, or did they like the type of music?
Oh,
See,
the
that,
I think they like the music, and
Yeah.
I think they
It-
like the interaction between the goofiness of what it was.
They were so good at that.
They were.
And again, it's not like we're doing this every week.
Right.
You know what I
There's a
mean?
year in
Like-
between.
all right, maybe. But,
Right,
but I,
But it's probably a blend of everything, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a
it
little bit
is.
of fresh,
Yeah.
it's a little bit of new, it's a little bit of,
Yeah.
you know, you had a good act last year, you're bringing back
Yeah.
maybe every other year.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I mean, you and I, Keith especially, should be cautious of
like we've had the
Within the
Britwoods
same
more than once,
bands
but
over.
we've
We
never
have,
had
but never twice.
but never twice in a row.
Right.
See? So that means that when they play, you know, people stop and they'll listen and they say, "Wow, this band is cool. I saw them a couple of years ago here, or something," but they didn't see them last year here because they weren't.
John Short, he was a couple years in a row.
Oh yeah, I totally bring John Short.
You know,
back.
and he
Yeah.
kills it. People love that raw blues that he's playing up there. People eat it up, you know. So,
Yeah, but see that what's different about him, okay, is that I've seen him play about 6 times, and he's never played. I've never seen the same show twice from him.
right.
Okay, so that's what's different about him.
Well, how do we know
The-
that German
Yeah, they're
people are going to
pretty.
do the same
They're
thing?
pretty improv.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I mean, they were feeding off the crowd and
Yep.
blah, blah, you know, and
yeah.
Doesn't matter. I mean,
I don't know what the right answer is either. I'm just, you know, but like Britwoods is a good example though, because we've never had them twice in a row. So when they come out and people like them, you know, it's also a generation that, you know, I don't know what. It's not the same generation either, you know.
I think a smear campaign would be a huge. My buddy's band, Smear Campaign. They play.
you've been promising me them for 4 years now.
That was just last year. This would be the second year.
Or
last
two.
year we were too late, so nothing happened. So this year we're getting in early. But Smear Campaign plays all the top 40 stuff. Super energetic frontman, and they play a lot of stuff that gets you moving. So I think they would be good as well on the main stage. Something different.
Yeah.
So I will speak with them this week. Them and already kind of talking to the magician people. So I'll do both of those.
Awesome. Thank
Take a
you.
little weight off of you.
I appreciate it.
So we have electricity
old.
down by stage B.
I don't have enough to run food vendors.
What?
I don't have enough to run food vendors. I have 2 20-amp circuits down there. That's it.
What about if we
Yeah.
borrow power again?
Hmm?
What if we borrow power again?
That's
We also
it's possible, but
Generators?
it's technically a problem. Okay, you're gonna borrow power for a food vendor from a food business. Okay, they're not too keen
May not
about
go over
that.
so well.
Okay,
I'm not asking that question.
yeah.
How many nerds?
So,
What about generators?
so that's the first problem.
We do already use some generators.
Yeah.
And you have to be
Generate,
careful with
we
generators.
do. The generators are possible. But then we gotta put them someplace so that the noise don't bother people.
I do
That's
also
the downside.
believe that if we set up an area for people to eat and that kind of stuff down there, that the rising tide raises all cars. Because the fact is, if people are eating down there, then you're more likely to generate more eating business down there. And that maybe the car will start as the water goes up.
The what was that? The car?
Did I mix metaphors?
Where do you get these things?
So you're suggesting that if you just put tables and chairs, that people will
Well, tables and chairs with more food right? Because what we're saying
Well, I
is,
kinda
look,
tried that.
there's like established restaurants and stuff
Well,
down there that you don't
I
want to.
kind of tried to do that.
Okay.
I got extra tables and I put them out in front of Harry's Pizza with the
Yeah.
idea that he would do an outdoor menu and he was supposed to do some German food and stuff. So I kind of talking about that. I tried to pull that off down there with an existing business last year. And what he told me is that there were people sitting at the tables, but they weren't buying his food, you know, so.
Yeah.
So,
And like I said, we're so food centric on the other end of the street. That's kind of where I'm getting at, is if we had
Spread it out.
more food over there that maybe,
Well, start on the
That would
streets the
get
same
everything.
exact way. You've
Yeah.
got food court, boom.
Yeah.
Woodstock Fair, food court, boom.
that's true, but you also, as you walk the street, there are also food vendors throughout the street. Right, like you have, there's food trucks and the kettle corn and that kind of stuff is like over by the music. Whereas, like you said, your Jamaican food and your, I'm trying to think of some of the other ones over there,
It's
but
been a
to
while
your-
since I've been there.
But to your
so.
point, yes, I mean, there is a food place. And again, I think that's kind of what I'm getting at as well, is you have your food court, you have that, but then maybe your kettle corn and
Wild
your-
Bill's down the
yeah,
other end?
Mild
Snack food
Bills,
kinda stuff.
yeah, and frozen
Mhm.
bananas, like that kind of stuff.
Treat kind of things
Is-
versus meals.
Okay.
I like the
Well,
idea
well,
of keeping the meals.
we're also.
Centrally located.
Yeah,
people
I
are-
do.
You're
Snacks
also,
disperse-
you're also.
dispersed throughout.
You're also creating a risk, for example, okay? Let's say we do that. Let's say we put, I think Wild Bill's will do okay no matter where you put them, okay? But let's say we put the kettle corn down there,
Yep.
right? Now, this kettle corn guy's came here for, I don't know, 20 years or something, and he does fantastic here.
Maybe it's
Okay.
time to
Okay.
mix it up, Tony.
Okay, maybe. Maybe.
Same guy twice.
See what he did there?
Yeah, never have the same guy
I
twice.
put the food vendor down there, and he doesn't do any business.
Yep.
Okay, or he does half of what, or a quarter of what he does if he was moved up here. He's gonna complain. We have vendors complain about all kinds of stuff,
Really?
okay? Yeah,
I don't think I've ever heard a vendor complain.
yeah, just like I have entertainment guys that complain about all
Such a
kinds of
straight
stuff.
face to it, so
Okay.
impressive.
I know, he does it
So-
so straight.
So what'll happen is either, he's not gonna want to be down there next year, so that experiment failed.
And that's fine. If the experiment failed, then the experiment failed, and we got to try something different anyway.
But you don't know unless you try.
But maybe
But
it'll
we-
go and
no.
double his business.
Triple.
That's not likely, Okay.
I'm
okay?
just being on the positive side. of
But
things.
again, like if there is that snack stuff down there,
Because
we need frozen bananas.
Yeah.
We need Bluth's frozen
you
bananas.
need a milk truck.
We need a Bluth stand.
You
No,
have
absolutely.
milk
You need a milk
delivered to
truck,
your
because
house.
you did well when you had the milk truck down there.
Stalker.
I think that we did well down there when we had more of the things that involved people's children. When we had, I was gonna roll
Let's
with
make
eyes.
these guys smile.
Yeah.
The cheerleaders,
The cheerleaders,
karate
dance
people.
sensations, the karate demo.
John's like,
We-
he's gonna
Touche.
shoot
I know,
me.
I know,
Touche.
they're all both rolling their eyes, but when you did that, that drew the people down there because they
No.
had their kids, yes,
Yeah,
it
they
did.
leave.
No.
Gymnastics.
But they're there.
But they leave.
Down
They
they don't even
pause, they're
show
down
up.
there for the period that their
The,
kids
the,
are
the,
there.
the cheerleaders showed up for like 10 minutes.
Do we have cheerleaders?
Yeah.
We used
Not
to.
anymore.
There was an issue.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't want to go down that road.
So they
You
show
couldn't
up, they
pick that
leave, of course they do, but at least you got them down there. Now, they're not down there at all. You just said the guy was playing to an empty street. Well, he wasn't playing to an empty street when there was 400 people down there because they were down there because their cheerleader just got off. Okay?
Can I
So,
throw out a suggestion for an activity down there? I don't know if you guys have ever tried it before, but what about like a Douglas Has Talent kind of show? And people, there could be, if we have the money, maybe we could have a prize.
Yeah,
And we
we,
can
we,
have a
we
few
have
little
done it. We
judges.
did like a 15 minutes of fame kind of thing. Not quite to the extent of Douglas Has Talent, but yeah, it was like an open mic thing, which wasn't bad.
All of this is
I
missing
think
the
that's a
point.
great idea.
This is all missing the point. And the point is about traffic patterns.
Yeah.
It's less about the stage and it's more
Yeah,
about
street.
traffic patterns. The traffic of the event is clustered and heavy on the Depot Street corner because everything's up there.
Well, it made it
So-
worse when we made Depot Street a bigger attraction.
Yes.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yeah. So
The
you
fu-
have to
food,
figure out.
Food is up there. The main acts are up there. The wiener races are up there. The rides are
The
there.
train.
The train is there. Everything is on that corner. There's nothing down by the post office that gives people a reason to go down that way. So it's less about like one act on a stage as opposed to like getting people to go down that street.
Yeah, I mean, we need our wiener dog race. Like that's we need our wiener dog race.
It's more than that. It's like constant like there's got to be a pull to get people down all day down the street.
Pumpkin
Yeah.
carving contest?
Yeah, there's gotta be
It's not
something
gonna
else.
do it.
No.
But what if we
Unless you
could
do it
we
with
do like a
chainsaws.
series? Oh Lord, you scare me. What is the
Better than the
Could there
swords.
be a series
Is it?
of attractions or events that we have like on a schedule down in that area?
Like
Like,
music on stage.
Yeah.
well, I don't know.
mu-
Maybe
music,
does it have to be music on the
No,
stage?
it doesn't. It could
Can
be
we
stage
have?
acts.
I mean, can
Yeah.
we have the music on the other stages? You know, up by the Masons and down by E.M. Jenks, and then have something else that is going to be like the local groups and whatnot. It could be like the local
That's
chorus groups, and
That's
that would
what's happening though, and we have local bands. We've got.
right. But I'm talking like local. Like I mean, maybe you are too when you say local bands. I'm
We've-
talking
we've
like
had dance-
Douglas people and
We
You are.
have those. We've had, we have Douglas teen musicians from Blackstone Valley Music. We've had, we've done like the 15 minutes of fame thing. We've done a pie eating contest. We've done dancing from local dance studios and music schools, and it's other than when there's 30 cheerleaders, nothing is pulling people down that way.
The karate thing had the same impact as the cheerleaders. I mean, there was people down there because their kids and grandkids and all that stuff are in those organizations.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
but that's 15 minutes, then they leave. There's gonna be something down there to pull
So
people
you
all
have to
day.
keep, but that's the point. The point is, yes, it's 15 minutes and they leave. You have to do something right behind that that's like that.
right.
You have to do that all day.
But I think
All
what we're
day
saying
long.
is we don't want to.
Huh?
Right? Aren't we also saying we don't want to?
Why?
Because when the wiener dog race is going, we want to bring them up for the wiener dog race. When we're,
You're gonna have, but see, that's the problem. You can't do that. You can't say, because people aren't gonna go and move on demand because you want them up there, okay? You're gonna have great things happening everywhere and have them make a choice. This guy's gonna have to see, if he wants to see the magician on this stage, he's gonna miss the wiener dog races.
But maybe you're
so-
strategic in how you schedule it so
Yeah.
that you pick your 5 big draws and schedule them
Put them
so
at different
one's here
times.
at 8 a.m.,
Yep.
one's here at 10 a.m., the other one's over
Yeah.
here at 12. So it's drawing the people, but then you fill in with the other activities and other performers that you have.
I'm thinking about moving the wiener dog race
To where?
in front of the stage B.
On the pavement?
Yeah. And put down like a AstroTurf or something. One of the what's up?
Yeah, why
So
not?
it's interesting. But
'Cause-
then
Huh?
can't-
Coming out from, so stage B like this being the end of the road, coming out this way, coming up the road.
Because the whole thing on Douglas is they raced horses down Main Street.
Mhm.
Only this year we raced wiener dogs down.
Oh,
Main
that
Street.
would be hilarious.
I like it.
I don't have to run it, so I don't care.
Okay.
And
Can we get-
but hold on, because the other thing that solves is, I don't know how we're ever gonna make viewing good at
The Masons.
the Mason Lodge.
Mhm.
Whereas down on stage B, we can line them, right? And then you also have like sword swallowers and like, you know,
good
that kind of
Lord.
stuff, like.
I think it's cool.
I don't, that is just so scary.
Can you,
I know, but
Can
it's
you
cool,
get-
and you got a lot of people that will go see it.
can
You
we
will
get
get
at
a lot of
least,
people that'll go down there to see that fire-breathing, sword-swallowing, brick-smashing
yeah,
madness.
people like that.
Wow.
You would?
John's been trying
I'll be
desperately.
there.
Can we get at least a few food people down there?
It's difficult.
Can we try 1 year? If people complain, we'll put them back where they were.
But I already got 2 complaints of putting food down
We haven't even put food down there
there.
yet.
I know, but I already have 2 people that say,
I
don't put
mean,
food down there.
We're the ones that run the,
I-
we're the people that run
I
the
know,
organization.
but,
But you're also.
and if we decide to do it, we'll do it, okay? But we already got opposition for putting
So,
food down there.
so John, the other
And-
thing that you have to think about is the people who may not be so, high on it are people who pay
Bingo.
taxes.
Yeah, well, they're also the people that donate to the event, usually,
Yeah.
okay? We got,
But we don't know, we don't know they're gonna do poorly. We don't know, by putting them down there, we don't know that they're gonna do poorly.
But is.
no,
so
we
the-
don't, no,
You know?
that's a good
And
point.
To
Yeah.
Eric's point, they could
Yeah.
do just as well, or better, perhaps.
No, we're talking about two different things. Okay, he's talking about moving food people down there, and then the food people don't do as well. But we're also talking about, there are some businesses down there who are established that pay taxes throughout the year that may not be all that thrilled about having another food vendor set up in front of them.
Well, that's what it's all about. That's what Octoberfest is all about. It's about variety and,
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And I hear all of
So
that.
that's,
Yeah.
so-
like, somebody mentioned sausages in the beer garden.
Yeah.
I mean, what doesn't go with a cold beer? A sauce, you know what I mean?
I
That
don't
works
like
perfect.
either
But don't we
one, so-
have somebody who does sausages
I never-
already?
You know
The
what?
fire
I
department,
never
somebody do
sausage a
them?
thing.
No, it's not the fire department. I would let sausages go in the beer tent.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking
Because we
about,
have issues with.
we're talking about
some
200
things.
feet. Talking about 200-300 feet. And what's the difference between setting up,
200 or 300 feet for what? More than
whatever
that.
food, I mean, whatever it is.
Oh.
It's either here or it's here.
But there's still logistics problems too. I don't have enough power over there to run food vendors. Depends on who's the food
Does
vendor.
Wild Bill run on
Okay.
electricity?
Yeah.
Then we
Yes,
throw
they
just
need
throw
water,
a
they-
I have a generator, it just needs to be,
Yeah, I
clean.
understand, but now I'm gonna put the generators behind that apartment house, okay? And there's a potential for a problem, it's not necessarily one, but I had to move, even where we have them now, I have issues with some electric, and I have to be careful where I put even the generators
But
that I
these-
run. So,
We
yeah.
can overcome. I mean,
Yes,
this
we
is-
do. We overcome all of that stuff, okay? But I'm not sure that putting 3 or 4 food vendors down, stage B is gonna fix that problem. It may just make 4 more food vendors
It-
upset because there's nobody down there.
Yeah, but it doesn't solve the problem by itself.
No, it doesn't.
But again,
Yeah.
if now we have some food vendors, right, and you could even link it in with the wiener dog race, right? Like, watch a dog buy a dog. The loser gets turned into a hot dog. I don't know, but I mean, there's
You
there's
in a
stuff-
hot dog suit.
I'll do it.
Oh.
I don't.
So-
all right, at the very least, it's, and I don't know if this is true, but my perception is that that is the last spot that vendors get filled in.
No.
It's
No.
not.
Just nobody really
I
wants
do
to
Main
Depot
Street
Street's the
and
last
I
one.
go down so far, but then what happens is it gets loud because you're really close to the
We can
bands.
fix, I mean, we can fix
And
that.
so then after Main Street down to the porch, the white building, the porch of the Chinese building, and I don't completely go in front of Harry's, but I'm like in the driveway. And then once all those are full, then I start going up Depot Street. So
We
Main
don't
Street
put
is full.
Any vendors on Depot Street till Main Street is sold out.
Okay.
Now,
What if
So
we
we
put
can
the
turn on
art
the music.
stuff
What
down?
about a little-
If we
little
get
bit of
art
compromise?
vendors, we put them
Because
down towards
you're saying that the music
his
isn't getting the
area.
draw down there.
No,
You wanna put
we
something
got
else.
draw.
John doesn't agree with
I
that.
don't know.
We're talking about putting food vendors down there. You don't agree with that. How about we meet somewhere in the middle and meet in the middle, compromise with something, try something different. Never know,
I
it's
think that
trying
there
something
have to
different,
be-
is maybe a
It's
bonus.
just a difference of opinion. It's putting vendors down there to draw people down so that they can watch the stage. I think the stage should be drawing the people down there so that the vendors that we put down there can get business.
I think it
Okay?
should be.
So it's a whole different
Combination of
philosophy.
both.
It should be
Okay?
both.
Combination of
It's
both.
gotta be a combination of both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soapbox derby races.
Here's the,
I have so
Got four.
I mean, here's the
I
problem,
have them, and you
Tony.
sponsored one.
None of,
Okay, so you and I are gonna race down that street. Okay.
Oh, I will do it. I will do it so hard.
Bring
I
Leah.
wish that were the
You want-
case, and I
you
want
wanna
that
do it?
too.
Oh, yeah, I
John.
would.
You wanna do
What
it?
Oh, I
about
would.
if we do manage to
I-
get some art people, would it work
I have
if
the
we
stuff.
had art vendors that do artwork more in your direction? I was just asking Keith and I don't know. All these, we're asking for everything and some of the stuff I'm like, what? Like, for instance, we want to have the schools, why are the schools not doing anything? Yeah, you've got 4 years of schools, and they used to do all 4, but they don't show up anymore. You've got things at reasonable price, well, I'm not setting prices, they want more
What's a
craft
reasonable
type
price?
vendors.
Where'd you
They
say
want
that? Huh?
vendor items more reasonably
Oh,
priced,
yeah.
but that's not something we can
You
control.
have to
Right.
take all this with a grain of
Yeah, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
so-
salt, because
People
More
like
adult
this in play.
activity.
Well, yeah, and some of
On
them,
both
some of
sides.
them we actually had, but they just didn't either notice or they didn't, yeah, they didn't
Keith's
run
point
across it,
was
you
well
know?
taken,
There's
right?
so much happening that you
the
don't
petting
see
zoo is
everything,
great. There's no petting zoo.
you know?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think we talked about that at the recap meeting afterwards.
Crafty things for
that
children to do.
There wasn't a
There
lot of good
is.
signage. Like, I never knew there was a petting zoo until I was on the committee. I
Right.
never saw it,
Well,
never heard
we've
about
only
it.
had
Even
it- we've only had it 2
even
years,
last
though.
year, I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
like, I
Here's
knew about
one-
it, but I never
Here's,
saw it.
oh, go ahead.
Here's one, I think, positive benefit that we're hoping from this, is we have 70 or 80 email addresses now, we have 70 or 80 contacts. And so you're talking about getting the stuff out ahead of time. You know, send out mailers, emailers
Yeah,
to
yeah.
people ahead of time. And here's a map of the event. Here's where everything's
Wow,
going to
there's
be.
a lot
In
of
addition to a
emails.
schedule.
I
Yeah,
would
there's
like
a
to,
ton.
we talked about a map for the event before. I'd love to do that, but in order for us to do that, we have to get a little bit more proactive on getting stuff set before the event, because, you know, even the program, I'm printing the program 3 days before the event happens, you know, and that,
Right.
and, you know, that's because we either have schedule changes or, you know, something.
Which is also, and you and I talked about this a little bit last year, I would love to do something about the website.
Yes, yes.
You know, where we could be easy to update the schedule.
Mhm.
Check out our latest online, there it is, up to date.
People are on Facebook all the time too. Just slam that
We
out
could
there all
also,
the time. Just
you know,
reminders.
Dynamic Douglas has got a great Facebook page. You know,
It's
you've
got
been on it.
active-
Why
it's
doesn't
an active
Octoberfest
Facebook.
have one?
Great's one word to describe it. It's active.
Oktoberfest could have a Facebook page. Why not?
We do.
Interesting
We do.
is another
We
word.
do. We do. Is it
We-
updated?
Not right now, but yeah.
Okay.
It gets
Yeah.
a fair amount of traffic.
Is it really?
Come on, Tony.
Yeah, it's just
Nobody
where-
even, I didn't even know we had one.
Me either, I'm not on Facebook either, so.
So,
John,
Well, you know, I only serve a very specific demographic, and you're not it.
you're not getting food down your
one of
stage
the
then.
things here is if we could paint, you could make, I could help paint. Where they want a thing where you've got this thing and they stick their head through and they take their own photos. Why
Oh, yeah.
couldn't we put that also
Oh,
down
photo
near
booth.
your
That came up a couple times.
your
didn't it?
stage?
Yeah.
It should.
Yeah, I think a photo booth would be
And we
cool.
keep
Pretty
it
awesome.
every year. And we could just put that down there as well.
You do like pumpkin style one for the little kids, and you could even do one a little more adult themed in the beer garden.
Well, we're trying to draw
no.
people down to him, but you could do the
Well,
Mr.
I'm
and
just
Mrs.
saying.
No,
Beer
actually,
Garden.
actually you
Goes with the
could.
sausage
The one
flavor.
at the beer garden, you could have a guy who puts his head through and he's wearing a German outfit. you
Right?
know,
Leave
And
her
yeah, and the
losing.
girl has her
She has two
glasses. Oh,
beer mugs right here.
You knew where I was
This
going
is
with
going
this and
downhill.
trying to be
This
careful.
meeting is going
Pair of
downhill.
steins.
Yeah.
And I'm not the one leading it
I
down.
know, that's
I'm a
surprising.
little.
You started it.
Well, I will say I really like the idea of moving the Wiener race. We had an issue on the Masons lawn last year.
It was just too
And we
tight.
It was
had, we
too
had to be
tight.
Too tight.
careful. No, that's not the issue we had. And it had to be,
Oh,
it
seriously,
was,
I'm gonna kill these people.
Schmooky was.
it was,
Schmookies.
we had to be careful
Schmookies number
because the
2.
Wiener races were on the lawn. But the Masons in past had paid for a vendor to set up on their lawn. Well, this last year, the Masons have new people in there. They're like, we're not gonna pay for a vendor to be on our own lawn. The other people said, well, we're not paying because we're waiting for the Masons to pay for it. And then they set up their stuff in the way where they gave Keith a ridiculously hard time. So we have to rope off the area for Keith and the stage, but if you don't pay, you don't set up, is going to be,
Well, that's the question.
we can make
The
a weird-
question
but it's
is,
their
do
own
we
private
have-
lawn. That's the
So
problem we have.
what do we do
We can make a
about
wiener
like
dog course.
Douglas House of Pizza? They set up and
Yes.
sell pizza out in
That's the
front of their
master
shop.
turf.
Do we allow that? Do they pay for
Something
that?
quick, roll out, something
You
with
have to be
That's
across
another
the
issue
board.
we
with
have.
the yellow
You have to
netting
be
that we can
consistent
roll
across the
out
board. It's gotta
and
apply
just
to
bring it
everything.
right out, roll the whole thing right out,
In front of the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here you go.
keep it there for an hour, whatever, you know what I mean? Because from the beginning of
I
that
like.
stage,
I think it's
I
getting
mean,
Piece of cake.
30 feet,
yep,
you know, not even to contain the whole thing and the width.
1,000 feet.
How long is the wiener
We'll
dog
do
race?
It'll do 3 races, right? It'll be
Don't
it'll
know,
be
never
like the
saw it.
Preakness, the
How long is the
other
wiener
two-
dog?
He
How was
didn't
the
see it
course?
either.
How long
It
was the
wasn't
course?
very long. I
No,
don't think
it
it was
was
like
50 feet
along
maybe.
the side yard.
Maybe less than
Less
that.
than that.
No, that was 20 feet, maybe.
20 feet?
We should go
20
longer.
feet, yeah.
It was
And they
too
were a
short.
little
we
squishy.
should go longer, but we should probably have graduated lengths because we have like some 30-year-old wiener dogs in there, and like they can't
Can't
go
run that
far.
fast.
Well, they can't go that far.
Please.
No, I'm serious. That was one of the things when I was talking to them. They're like, "Oh yeah, no, this is a good size because our wiener dogs are really old."
The races were done in 3 seconds.
Well, maybe he should be in the sitting group. Sit, good dog, win a prize.
You get a biscuit.
We want dogs that run, not that sit.
Dress them at contests and people will, I mean, I saw a lady walk
Okay,
around and
so,
her, okay.
so if you do that,
Yep.
okay, you
This
you
is
take
what I
the
live
wiener
with.
dog races there, what do you put in its place?
I don't care anymore.
Okay,
No,
so,
no, you
so
gave me all
you've
this.
just-
You
you've
gave me
just
all
made-
this hard time
okay,
about
you just-
up
you just made
there.
this black
I'm
hole back
abandoning
up
it
there.
now.
No.
Right?
No.
No,
It'll be fine.
it'll be fine.
It'll be
That's what you told us. You said it.
Well,
you
how is
said
that
it
gonna be fine? What do you put up there now to draw the crowd up there?
Was last year the
Cat
first time
races.
that it
You
was a
don't care
popular
about it because
area?
that's not your stage, right?
Yeah.
It was crazy
Okay.
ridiculous.
It's not-
Usually
Stage
people
B isn't
wander
my
up
stage
there.
anymore either.
Yeah, how,
That was
wait a
only
minute,
running
let's
for
talk
a
about
short
that.
period of
How about
time,
But it still
Pitbull
brings
fighting.
people up.
even later in the day.
Keep the razor blades.
Well,
too.
I don't know.
I was thinking roosters, but you know.
Yeah?
I have some.
Yeah, what do you want to talk about?
But- So how come you're not running the stage anymore?
Because Eric's buddy we had doing the sound is
Yeah, but
1,000
but-
times
But you
better than-
were cheaper.
yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I'd rather go back to the deal.
Alright, well, I have a question then. Alright, so don't shoot me, you're within reach of me. When you have entertainment all set up on the stage for the next half hour, can you guys volunteer somewhere else if we need you?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because I am going from 6:30 on all day till we end and everything is completely picked up and put away. And so do I sit down? No.
Well,
Do
that's
I
what-
eat when he throws food at me?
Melissa, you ran rides all day, right? Yeah. So
Well,
that-
I did, because it was my birthday, she did give me a 2-hour break to spend
I
with my family.
told her to go play.
So,
But so did I.
But-
I
you got a
did-
2-hour break.
No,
No.
we don't
This year,
even,
you will, this year.
we don't
I
even
will.
get a 20-minute
Yeah.
break all day
So-
long.
So yeah, that's cool.
I kind of look at it as that's
Also-
part of my commitment to being on the
Yeah.
committee is to be there all day.
Also,
Yeah,
But
that's-
I would like to
also-
be able to sit down and have lunch.
hey,
Yeah, you should be able to.
hey,
Yeah, we've been saying that for 10 years.
Well, you gotta do it.
It says right
It's
here,
something
that-
you
it
have
says
to
right
do.
here that the committee
Okay,
members
if
can't do
something that has to
lunch.
be covered, I have to go cover
Okay.
it. So,
I've never.
Are
had
you
one.
interested in volunteering for Octoberfest? 36 email. email addresses.
36 email? So you have all the emails for the people that
I
said yes?
will say I
Nice.
felt
Good
like
job.
people were showing up to volunteer and there wasn't like a
So-
clear understanding of where they were supposed to show up and
We
where
had-
they were supposed to
We
go.
tried to get better at that,
Okay.
okay?
we
Because
will
we
try,
did,
we
we
will
did,
do better.
well, we did, we have a schedule, and I posted it right on the, right on the
Yep,
side of
I
the
remember
ticket booth.
seeing that.
Okay, so we did have things in there. A lot of people that signed up, though, this is what caused confusion. They signed up for a time, and then we find out that day that they can no longer do that time.
Yep.
Okay, so they just screwed up 5 other people, and the guys, and the other guy that was there already, waiting for relief, had to work like a triple shift now because the other 2
Right.
guys couldn't do it. So that happened a lot.
And
Okay.
you're gonna lose
So-
volunteers if they get stuck beyond the
Yeah,
time that they've
yeah,
committed
yeah.
to do
If
it.
they,
Sure.
somebody will volunteer for, to do something 2 or 3 hours, but, if he's there all day, he's not gonna volunteer next year.
So we've got,
Speaking of
we
which,
have
you need
people
to make
and,
sure you do something with the
you know,
trains
we'll
so
get-
that somebody doesn't get carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yes, that's on our list.
we'll
That
get
was
a
on the
handful of
discussion
volunteers.
list too.
You know, we've
What,
got
the
like
exhaust coming out of
35
that
people,
place?
we'll get a
Yeah.
handful.
At
Oh,
the
yeah?
Which
driver.
is better
The past
than,
2 years.
Yeah,
Like I drove it 1 lap and thought I was gonna pass out.
Oh, no kidding.
That's terrible.
yeah, it's got, the exhaust pipe's way too short.
Yeah.
It's underneath the cab that it's sitting in,
And we
Where do
run
we
out
get
of
them?
gas.
so we're gonna fix
Same
that.
place we always have. And they always did a great job. It's just that, like I said,
Last
it's fast all
couple
the time.
years.
It's like, whoa.
what about the
bell was
radar
broke.
gun? The
That's not
ball,
bad.
radar ball throw.
That's okay. Number 1, they're great ideas. Number 2, there's gotta be a group that does them, because if we put another game out there, one of us is gonna run it,
So,
okay?
so so what about doing like a sports theme up at the
Mason.
Mason's Lodge and have the sports boosters run it? So we do the baseball and we get like one of those football throws, right? They're there, they can run it.
Throwing baseballs, okay?
Would have to be completely
It's
enclosed.
okay, and not against it, but you gotta put it in a place where somebody throws a wild pitch and takes out a window, we don't have to pay for it. Okay, cause we had that happen.
Well,
Okay.
Yeah.
my opinion on that is the last year or 2, we've had issues with, some of that team not being forthwith with, I'm not paying for my spot, they're supposed to pay for the spot, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. And then arguing with you about where the stage was, that's all the same people that, we
Yeah,
need.
so like I said, let's reset. Let's reset and be like, okay, look, we're moving the wiener dog race.
Who would
you
get
know,
the
and-
profit of all this, though?
Let them have it.
Yeah.
If they want to run it, let them have it. And like I said, they're gonna be there anyway.
Yeah, if you had like, the athletic thing or whatever that wanted to do, a baseball pitch or something and record the speed or a speed pitch or something, sure, let them do it. It's a carnival type game. I don't have a problem in having them do it. Gotta put them in a safe place. The thing is, we can come up with a whole bunch of, we did the blow-up balls last year, a knocker ball thing. That was great. We actually made a ton of money on that, but we ran it.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can add a ton of games, but I don't want to run them all.
Yeah, no, we can't. So that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
let's go to the because they're looking for ways to raise money, right?
Well, you think so, because we've asked the high school.
Well, but here's the thing, we're about to find out. Because I'm pulling the only thing that pulled people out of there. So if you want to continue getting people up there, you're gonna have to run something. And if you don't want to, then that's on you.
All right, well, that would draw teenagers and give them something to do. We have to be careful how we handle this, because all other vendors of all types are paying to participate in this.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
you have-
so they
have to
do
pay.
a great silent auction. It does well every year.
Who?
But the athletic boosters.
Yeah.
It does fantastic. but pay your vendor fee. And
I'm happy to waive the vendor fee if they wanna run a ride.
No,
you
Or
do
I'm
it for
not.
one, you
No.
have to do it for
Okay.
everyone else. It has to be
no,
careful.
well, now you take, it's easy for you to say that, but I gotta pay your entertainers somehow, okay? So you can't just keep giving away.
So what if we did the tickets, they give us the tickets, and we do the percentage thing that we have done in the past?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
could
there's gotta be
work.
some revenue generation there somehow.
So that could work, but they get a percentage, but they have to run it all day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That would draw, you got
Okay.
teenagers coming up in that direction, Wiener Rice going, he's like, are we done yet? They're yelling.
He wants to make a suggestion.
Oh, please do, what would you like?
There are a lot of things that I liked last year at Octoberfest.
And what were they?
I think that you guys should do the giant slide block thing again. You should also do knocker ball again.
Sorry,
And I
can you
also
sit at the
kind of
table?
like the blinking thing that like you put on the vest and it up. The thing
That-
and you
that's
run
a lot
as
of
far as you
fun.
can. Yeah.
You like that one?
That thing is
It's
pretty
a
cool.
little bit painful, but it's fun. Like-
He's honest.
Like you, like it's stretch, like you have to stretch out really far, and then just pull you back. It was really
Yep.
Thank you for your input.
I wrote it down in the minutes, and I'm gonna put your name in the minutes. These are Jackson's likes and suggestions. No, he was very helpful.
So if you were gonna say, you know what, Oktoberfest needs this one thing, what would you wanna see? Yourself on TV, we could do that.
What?
He's talking to you.
And he didn't wanna be on TV.
So
I didn't want
if
that.
you wanted one thing at Oktoberfest, what would you want more than anything else?
A hot dog.
Don't give him ideas, I want his ideas, not your ideas. Your ideas are tired and only serve a certain demographic. I'm not gonna let that go. I'm looking for a new demographic.
Which demographic is that?
You're looking for a new, it's about time.
Out of anything or
How
out
long-
of,
how many years you been on the
or
committee?
out of the games?
It's about
or
time you
like
do something new.
literally
The whole thing.
everything.
The whole thing.
You like the games
I like the games and I like wiener doctors.
and the wiener dog races.
All right.
There you
Okay.
go.
I think we're gonna make the wiener dog races even better this year.
Why don't we
A
sell
fence
balloons?
For the wiener dogs? Something as simple as some kind of tripod weight
Because
stick and
no
that,
one,
that,
we
like
have had balloon
garden,
people in the past, and that's
fence,
what they did. They
but
would
mine's
do
green,
balloon
but you can
animals,
get it
this
in
and
like
that.
construction
They
stuff
come and
with
they go, they
orange.
come and they
We
go.
have it.
Plastic.
I'm just talking
So
about
it's
like
just
tie
roll
a
it up in a
mylar
thing,
balloon on
and
a
then
kid's
you
wrist
unroll
and
it,
call
you
it a
stick
day.
it
Why
on
don't we
its-
use
We have
that?
Mylar balloons from the toy
Plunger.
man.
Would stand up, you know what I mean? So each one would roll out, so you roll out the carpet,
Okay, I
roll
usually
out
don't
both
see half of
sides,
the
put an end
Oktoberfest.
on
Yeah.
it, the whole thing
It's
closed.
just,
Could
I
you do it
just,
so, could you get like the AstroTurf, cut holes in it?
Sure could.
Shoot up through?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
that's a pretty good idea. I don't know if it would hold the weight though. Like I was thinking just like get some weights and then put the stick in the weight.
We
is
gotta
there an
make it
adult
look
activity we could do besides
gotta
the
look-
beer
we gotta
tent?
make
It does have to look good.
What about
It's
a
gonna
zip-
be like right there.
What about a zip line?
What, adult activity? Yeah, we'll have,
Jump deep.
yeah, we'll have to think, we'll,
Jump off the church.
That's
I
all
mean-
that should be, yeah, it's the beer garden.
I've
Now we
always
got height.
seen fantastic things where you've got giant, what are those pedal bikes there? Low to the ground, you got 3 wheels, and they're giant, you got the adults doing races.
Adults have an activity, the beer garden.
I said besides
So
the
we
beer
do, yeah,
garden.
but we do races after the beer garden.
I
That'd
bet,
be even
Oh,
funnier.
big wheels?
Big wheels!
I bet that the
Where are we gonna do that?
I don't know, but it's fun.
right down Main Street.
No, you'd be bouncing off the vendors and they'd be having a hissy fit.
You gonna clear everybody out of the way?
If I saw a big wheel racing after me, I'd jump out of the way.
Big wheel drag.
I'm gonna ride that big wheel right down to a food cart, right down at the end by the goodness store, that's what I'm gonna do.
We could do big wheel drag races. Like right where we have the wiener dogs, we could do the big wheels and then like we could set up like a little drag strip with a
Move to
quarter
a
tree and
Yeah, but that hill is like that, they're gonna go like 1.2 miles an hour.
Doesn't matter.
That's
Still-
fast
No,
on a
no,
big
it's
wheel.
a drag. It's a drag. Like you, like in a straight line.
It is a drag, man.
Move to
yeah, I
adjourn.
need a pen. I need a pen.
Move to adjourn.
I have a wicked good idea here.
Porta
You better have
Good
another
thing
one
we're all
quick.
sitting down.
Move to adjourn gets lonely.
Quarter tree. This is it. That's
What is it?
that.
Move to adjourn.
Porta tree.
A porta tree?
Yep.
I don't know what that is.
It's a place for the dogs when they have to go to the bathroom. I wish you'd be considerate of more than just humans.
Why don't we just get a couple
I
of
saw
fire
someone
hydrants?
take their dog up Main Street and a big
Okay.
dog and
I
let
move
them.
to adjourn. I know
Why
where the
does
story's going.
everybody do that to me?
No.
You know what, I'm gonna resign.
Hey,
People drive me crazy.
Keith, you gonna reach out to dog orphans again and
Waffles.
Dog
So,
orphans?
what are the repercussions, serious repercussions of moving that, the wiener races from there,
Yep.
okay, and putting them down in front of stage B?
None that I
How
can-
far are you gonna
I don't
go
think there's
up?
gonna be
They
any
were only there
repercussions.
1 year.
How far will it go
It's
and
not
up
like
to
a
my
long
vendors? How
standing
far
tradition
will
that
it
Yeah,
go?
I'm
goes
just-
on for
down?
them.
I'm
50 feet
curious
is more than
of
enough.
what the
Yeah.
opinion
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
30
So I
feet
don't
is
think
already
it'll
enough-
actually come in contact.
there's already enough going
I
on
really don't.
at that
Alright, so it'll go
corner.
out
We
maybe
were from
up
here
to
to that wall
Harry's?
for those
Get
wiener
people
dog
there.
races. It was nothing.
Yeah,
So it may
very
go
small
up to
space.
Harry's
You
and
got
that's
beer
about
garden,
it.
you got music, you got
Just looks big
Not-
because the dogs are small.
The stage will die.
which
Okay.
stage?
What do you wanna say? Okay.
That little stage that we put up at the end of, the
We're
end
gonna
of
need
Depot
another
Street.
storage container.
That
I
one-
would rather
That one's
see
just
us.
sad. The weather can get in and
I mean, that's my
can you
sort of my
get rid of
point.
that
Yeah.
one and get a,
That
get a
we're
better,
letting
bigger
stage
one?
B die.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point, you are. We're letting stage B die to concentrate on the third stage. It shouldn't happen.
That's right.
But we're not doing that now. We just,
Well, I know, but
Welcome
when,
to the
but when
conversation.
doing that, in doing that,
yeah.
you're letting that stage die, because you're not putting something back there.
Stage
That's-
C?
Yeah,
Yeah, unless
that's
we come up
fine.
with something else, the pitching
Yeah,
thing.
We
yeah,
were
yeah.
just thinking of the whole sports theme area
Yeah.
up in that
But the-
direction.
Yeah, do the sports
And that's
thing. up
okay.
And that's fine because we've got young local like the people who were playing in that stage last year were thrilled to get half an hour, 45 minutes to play a gig. For many of those kids, it was the first time they'd ever played a gig,
Okay,
and so they get to play. They get amplification. They get to play an event. It's awesome. It's a big deal. So that's great for them. You know, we've got free entertainment up there all day. People who are ecstatic to play.
I don't think it's free, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe one. We paid maybe one.
yeah, we did pay one.
But everyone else is, you know, teens and local.
I think we still gave them a little something, which we should.
Anyway, cheap
You
money
guys
to
about to
have.
start getting your own sponsors.
Cheap money to have entertainment up there.
okay, so what's, who's reaching out to sports teams to get a sports event up there?
Is it sports teams or is it the
I'm
athletic boosters?
gonna start a conversation with the band or with the sports boosters.
Okay,
Is anybody currently reaching out? Does anybody currently reach out to the organizations at the high school that need volunteer hours, like the National Honor Society?
I have, but nothing has ever come
Yeah,
of it.
Nothing
no-
ever.
Nothing ever.
We
no.
can't even
ever.
get the 4 classes to come sell
even
stuff
get a
and make
return
money.
I'll try. I'll try.
Okay. And
your job now.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. I'm feeling lucky.
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
And you know what though,
I'm gonna try.
I would reach out to BBT too.
Yeah,
And
Bet you can get the
WCS.
robotics team to show up. That's something down there.
That was actually good. They were.
Okay,
see your
so.
Now,
So
we-
contact
when
the
they did
robotics
that,
team.
we were a sponsor for the robotics team, didn't cost us much. Okay, they came and did a demonstration,
They
and
got
we
a-
Cost us
sponsored them.
All you do is blow
Spend,
money,
spend, spend,
Tony.
spend, spend.
Hey, I'm the one that gets money for you, I get the sponsors.
I'm putting BBT for,
Tough crowd here today, folks.
You
robotics
money.
team.
You
So
are
they
a
know
spender.
now, John, that they can,
Spend.
they can put their robot in their booth and have it move, but then you can schedule them in a certain time during the
they'll do
day that
tricks
they
with it.
put it into the street and have
You
it do
guys,
something.
You guys, it's coming to me.
You
Light
gonna
bulb's
sneeze?
going off, can you see
You're gonna
it?
sneeze, aren't you?
Nope. You know what? You know what we could do?
Speak.
Battle bots.
I would be, yes,
What
yes,
are battle
absolutely, absolutely.
That would be big.
It is,
They're,
it is
they're
two
robots that
machines that
like
just
fight
destroy
each other with saw blades on them. It's
Oh.
just madness.
That'd be so cool.
Right? That's our
You
demographic.
gotta be careful of flying
Oh.
parts, but
No,
that
you
would be,
don't.
yes, you
No,
do.
you don't.
Get your
I've
Boy
seen them on
Scouts to build
TV.
Yeah,
They do, they're in the
Build a-
people
enclosed
lose their
area.
eyes all the time.
battle
We all have 2 of them. Give
That's-
an extra.
Tony
Jackson,
likes it.
he's kidding,
Tony
he's
likes it.
kidding. He had this
I know you
horrified
would-
look
yeah.
on his face.
Of course.
Wait,
So,
wait, I know.
and this is where I'm saying we're gonna need another
we
like
could do,
trailer
like,
because
No.
you do
If-
need. To Mary's point, after the beer garden, you do the battle bots, and
No, I know.
then you.
We need a trailer. We need another trailer.
No.
We need.
No. If you're gonna do battle bots,
Yeah.
right, I will get a fishing net that we can string up to put them inside so that
No,
nobody gets hurt.
That's not enough.
That's not enough,
That's
that'll
not
cut
enough.
right through it and take somebody's arm off.
People
Yeah.
put saw blades on those things.
Okay, well, we're not gonna have those kinds of battle bots. You just
You
have.
never know,
Well, I guess we're not building one then.
right?
Do you know how many saw blades
You
he
don't
has
have
access
saw
to?
blades on it and flamethrowers and.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you wanna
Oh,
do
we
it
should
or
do that At
not?
the same time the wiener dog race is going on and cook a wiener dog.
What
Did I
is
say
the
that out
matter
loud?
with you?
Sorry.
You know-
You have gone off the
Yeah.
deep end.
You know,
If you said cat, I'd be all
Back,
about it.
back
but-
in the old South, they used to fight chickens.
Really,
No.
come on, now we're going,
We don't wanna do
not-
That's
that.
what I'm saying. Rooster Fight, sponsored by
Yeah.
Keith Menard.
You guys are bad.
if you put the word out there, it's gonna be battle bots.
Battle bots. See if you can get battle
You
bots.
just
But they-
have
but
to have it
You play in
safe.
that arena much more than we do. You could probably find a battle bot.
I bet I could.
Yeah, better than
What
we
the-
could.
But there's gotta be restrictions, you can't have like things that are gonna,
No.
like
That's right.
saw
You
blades.
can't
Oh,
do that.
oh,
Yeah,
listen to
yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Dial It Back now.
You can't have the flame torch going across the street and. All right.
No, they have to.
Actually-
they have to be.
Okay, hold on. Here's a spin on battle bots. Not quite as saw blade.
Battle kids
Um,
with saw blades.
there was a robotics competition where
Bad and
they had
Yes.
to do whatever the thing was. And
Yep.
like for this particular competition, the robot had to like pick up a frisbee.
Yeah, they all
then
do
you
that.
actually-
Our
Capture
Ricky
the
used
flag
to be
kind
on
of
it,
a
so
Yeah.
we
thing.
understand because our
Instead of
son
beating
was
the
in it.
snot- Instead of beating the snot out of
How did you just turn something as awesome as BattleBots into something so lame?
It's like flag football now.
ugh, not even. It's like
Less
touch.
soft lady.
It's like not even two-hand touch. It's like one-hand touch.
the anyway.
It's like it's demolition derbies. I mean those are cool.
That's what we should
Yep.
have.
How about demolition derby remote control cars or something, you know?
Yeah.
We have the space.
No. Remote control cars would be
What's wrong
cool
with
too.
that?
You need somebody with
We
a,
had a race
you
venue.
have one,
Oh, yeah, I do.
Demolition derby remote
With remote
control.
control cars.
Not the helicopter, the,
Ah, well, I don't know if
Drone,
people would
yeah,
be
yeah,
willing
drone.
to
Do a
do
drone
that,
for the
but they'd be
Facebook
willing
page.
to do the race.
I bet some people might be willing to do it though.
A lot of
What's
people
that?
like the
Demolition derby with remote control cars.
Well, but we could actually
It's a
do
little-
the remote control car race, and we could do it.
Okay, let me
Okay.
let me just lay this out. And I know it's getting late, but I think this is important. What's the difference between a remote control car and a robot? Because they're not autonomous, right? You're just sitting there with a remote.
Well, number
anyway.
one, they're probably cheaper. Okay, number two, okay, they don't have saw blades on it that are gonna fly off and
So-
take your head off.
So,
Okay.
which you guys already want to neuter these things and take the saw blades away. So really, there's not that much of a difference. Can
Well,
we just be honest with
missing the
ourselves?
saw blades, there's quite a bit of difference. Yeah.
What about a cornhole tournament?
A what?
Oh, that's very popular
Oh.
now.
And also,
Cornhole tournament.
A cornhole.
Who's gonna run
say
it?
that fast, you win a free prize.
Cornhole tournament.
What is
Cornhole
a
tournament.
cornhole
Are
tournament?
you kidding?
I don't know what that is.
They're very popular
That's
right
my
now.
only problem
They
with
use
it.
this
You've
for
never played
fundraisers.
On the boat where they have
No,
these two
John.
pieces.
The bag and the
Yeah.
bag
No,
toss.
no.
Why?
And the only reason is because alternatives, that's their big thing.
Alternative doesn't.
But what's
We also do it.
because again, you're gacking somebody else's idea. I hate that when it's like because it's like how many times do we hear now like
You can't
this
play the
town is
game,
gonna
so you
do-
don't want anybody else to.
No, what I'm saying is like how many times do you have like area towns are like, why don't we do a fall festival? Well, you know what? Because somebody already does it and they do a really good job of it. Let them do it. You come up with your own idea. What about the trash can thing?
What trash can thing?
yeah, what?
Everyone's looking
The
at you,
frisbee?
having no
Yeah,
clue.
the trash can frisbee
yeah.
thing.
Trash can, what is that called? I know what you're talking about.
Trash can frisbee thing.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, I actually have one.
Yes,
There you go.
do.
And also, I know what
He's
could
fine.
be I know what the battle bots could be.
All right.
It could be a cat versus Winnie the Pooh. It's I wouldn't be resizing either of their heads ripped off.
You're gonna join the committee.
Alright, well, at the very least, maybe we don't need a tournament. Just put some games out. Put a cornhole game out, put the trash can frisbee game out.
Well, I like
Put
the
a-
idea of a tournament.
Put a big chess set.
You just want something other than.
The
Yeah, I'm just
library
saying
does the
something
chess
other than.
thing.
A big one?
Well,
Who's
No.
street chess?
They do street chess,
yeah.
Wait, who?
and they need help moving
It,
blocks.
it's a
library
really,
does
it's
saw
a
that.
really nice guy. He almost passed last year, but that's what he does. He charges
What?
$2. That
Seriously?
yeah. They almost didn't
Oh,
have
that's
the
awful.
chess last year.
Big.
Oh.
John wants
Oh, that's
lawn
true.
chess. Yeah,
Okay.
he sits
To
down and
just
goes and
sit
plays
there and
multiple
people just move, just like on a cruise boat, you've got those giant pieces.
I will say the idea of having places where somebody can sit down and engage in a game of some sort could have some appeal for people.
And you'll
If
lose
we
the
have
pieces, but
something.
I'm just saying,
But
everything.
Well, it would depend on what you choose to do. But I know, like for instance, our family goes to Old Sturbridge Village all the time, and there's a checkers board, and the kids love to go and just sit and play a game of checkers. We never play checkers at home, but they love to do it there. Like it could be a nice place if we set up some tables down by the stage. Maybe it's not food. Maybe there's games on the tables that people can play.
What about giant Jenga?
Giant Jenga.
Giant Jenga is a-
awesome.
That's what I'm
Good
talking
idea.
about.
Yeah.
Giant Jenga is an
Put
awesome
Yeah.
idea.
Street chess, street checkers,
Huh?
street Jenga.
Yeah,
Giant Jenga?
yard
What,
Yahtzee
4x4s
maybe or
and-
something.
Two
Two
by
by
fours.
2x4s or 2x3s?
I have an idea.
Yeah, it's 2x3s, I think.
Stop
Yeah.
interrupting.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Put it out there.
Yep.
Just
Sand them all up smooth, wax them up, just make a big pile of them and
put a bunch of games.
go to
in.
town.
Yeah, remember we had them at the lake house for
Yeah, I know a great
for that
idea
one
that we
season.
can do
They were
with
just
now.
stacked
You have a
up.
lake house too, seriously?
No,
Jenga,
we're just doing
and,
the
like,
one for
there'll be, like,
another family.
I'm gonna be adopted by you.
Okay.
maybe even 50
I wanna be adopted by me too.
and not become four more rounds until there's one
I wanna be able to go home at night though.
Move to adjourn.
tournament.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I wanna go.
So we have a lot to check out, a lot of
Yeah,
things to.
we got a lot of work. We got a lot of work to do.
Should we wait a full month before we have another meeting?
No.
Don't have
we,
to.
we
I
have
don't
we have a
think
lot
so.
to cover. I would say our next meeting should probably be no later
Go
than
get my
September
phone.
1st.
No later than what?
September 1st.
Yeah.
It's 15.
2 weeks.
2
2
weeks.
weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Oh, we have a whole bunch of whiners in this.
Well,
You think your
The
schedule
only,
is nuts?
the only guys that are whining are the entertainers. Okay? And they're whining because we're not giving them any food. Okay? So,
But we're giving them games.
we're giving them games instead. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we'll send an email out.
Okay, we're not selecting
Yeah.
a date right now?
No,
Okay.
All right.
Well, the first full week of June,
we
we're
have
going
a
on
motion
here
to
anyway.
adjourn, but we don't have a second.
Second.
Who had the
All in
motion?
favor?
I made the
Aye.
motion like an hour ago.
think
Yeah, I
you
know,
made it
but I
before
didn't
you did.
recognize you. I don't recognize you with that hat on.
I
Are
moved-
you going to take
got
and
all the-
shred
yeah.
all of these?
Yes.
Yes, he
Okay.
does.
Yes,
I'm gonna
that's
shred
why
my
I
own.
take them back, huh?
I'm gonna shred my own.
No,
I'm gonna
you-
sell. There's a couple good ones in here. I'm gonna sell them.
No, you're not.
No, I actually do want to borrow these for a day.
Okay, well,
I do
I'd
that.
rather not because, you know, but,
Applications for
I'm,
under
I'm,
protest.
I'm,
He's responsible.
scholarships.
no, he's not.
You trust me to burn those tickets every year, and I've only used them for 3 or 4 years in a row.
I'm changing the color next year too, because we caught you.
Yeah, we're having to
Dang
get,
it.
we're
Out
having
of
to get
the, out of the
new
bounce
stuff.
house, Menard.
Okay.
I'm trying to teach my son a lesson.
We're kind of done talking.
And
but
what's
you're
that got to
okay
do
to
with
stop
somebody
That
else?
if he doesn't eat his dinner, that he's gonna eat these. That was the threat I made.